day and welcome to the Leamy Homestead. Today we're making mac and cheese with bacon and ham. I've already taken the liberty of boiling up the noodles, and I've made a Mornay sauce, which is a bechamel, flour, butter, equal parts, and the spices that I'll go into in a few minutes. Before I add the cheese, I'm going to add the ham that I've already cubed up so that it warms through. And the bacon bits. This is a really yummy mac and cheese recipe. My family loves it. It's great on its own, or you can use it as a side dish. If you like to leave out the ham and the bacon, you can do that. If you have other meats that you'd like to add, like chicken or pork, that's fine too. It makes a complete meal. Now that that is warming through, I'm going to add my 4 cups of shredded cheddar cheese. You can use a mixture of cheeses. I've just used white and yellow cheddar today. And we'll just heat that through until it melts. Stirring so that nothing burns on the bottom. If your sauce gets a little too thick, you can always add a little more milk. Which I'm going to do now. To loosen it a bit. And everything is melted, so I'm going to go ahead and pour it into our macaroni and stir it through and get it all incorporated. I use a big bowl instead of a pot. It's just easier to mix through. But it's already been seasoned with all the seasonings. And you can see it looks really yummy. This is a really hearty meal. Great in the winter time to make ahead and put in the freezer, which is what I'm going to be doing today. Well, we're making 2. One will be for dinner tonight, and the other one I'll put in the freezer for another day. Now I use tin foil, but if you have a Pyrex dish or a casserole dish that you prefer, you can do that for sure. So I'm going to do it 2 ways. One way is to line it with parchment paper, and the other way is to spray it with a little pan. You don't need a lot. It's really not going to stick because it has all that butter and cheese in it anyway. And I don't bother spraying the parchment paper because it doesn't stick to the parchment. I'm just going to get my big spoon. And I'm going to put my mixture in my containers. And this will make 2 hearty helpings, or dinners, I should say. That's one. Here's the other. Just spread it out so that the paper And this is also great as a side dish. If you leave the ham out, you can just put the bacon in, and it's a great side dish. And it heats up beautifully from frozen, because basically everything is cooked that goes in it. It's just you're heating it through. So now we're finished with this. And now I'm going to put my sauce that I made, my breadcrumb mixture, over the top. Just going to sprinkle it. Get it here where you can see it. There you go. This is my first time making a video, so you'll have to excuse me if there's errors. I'm learning, and I'm open to suggestions, kind ones, and tips, of course. And if you have any requests, if there's something that you'd like to learn how to do, or you know, something that you'd like some advice on, you can always email me and I'll respond to you. And if there's, you know, something that you want to plan, a meal plan or a dinner, I'm very, very good at that. I can do a segment on meal preparation and planning menus and getting families fed on a budget. That's a problem today for many people. Now I'm going to use my smoked paprika. I'm just going to lightly sprinkle it over the top so that it has a little bit of color. It adds flavor too, but it's mostly for appearances because there is a little bit already inside. There we go. And lastly, we'll add our shredded Parmesan, which just makes such a nice touch for the top. And I'm sure you'll agree, once you've baked this for 350 and you've tried it, you'll love it. Now get a piece of paper ready and a pen, and I'm going to read the ingredients to you so that you too can make this really wonderfully wholesome dish for your family. This is what it looks like. And then once you bake it, it's wonderful. So what you need, we'll start with the topping. 1/3 cup of panko crumbs, 2 tablespoons of butter, melted. You mix those together with 1 teaspoon of dried parsley. But if you have fresh parsley, use it. It's lovely. And 1/4 teaspoon of smoked paprika that you're not going to mix into the breadcrumbs, but you're going to sprinkle on top. And 1/4 cup of shredded Parmesan cheese. And you're going to sprinkle that on top too. Now for the mac and cheese, you're going to use 4 to 5 cups of macaroni, penne, spiral, whatever type of pasta you would like to use. And you boil that with 1 teaspoon of sea salt and 8 cups of boiling water. Now, a little trick, I always keep a kettle boiling because some of the water evaporates out and I want to put it back. So I keep the water boiling. Then, once you have cooked your pasta to al dente, because it continues cooking after you've drained it, you're going to take a 1/4 teaspoon of butter, 1/4 cup of butter, and 1/4 cup of flour, and you're going to mix those together in your pot, and you're going to add thyme, cayenne, garlic powder, onion powder, and mustard, dry mustard. And you're going to put about a teaspoon of each of those, or a good hefty pinch. You're going to add a teaspoon of Worcestershire, and you're going to add 3 to 3.5 cups of milk, And then you're going to mix it together until it becomes thick and it coats the back of your spoon. And then you're going to add your 3 cups of shredded cheese. You can do an assortment of cheese. You can use just plain old cheddar cheese. That's what I used today. And I put in about a cup of cubed ham and a 1/4 cup of crumbled bacon. And I will put the one that I made in the parchment paper, I'll put that in the oven tonight. And the other one, I will cover with tin foil when it's cooled, and I'll put that in the freezer for another day. I hope you've enjoyed cooking with me today. I'd love to answer your questions. I'm going to post once a week. I'm going to try and do it every Wednesday. I hope that I'll see you again, and until we do meet again, I hope that God holds you in the palm of his hands. Bye for now.